Hi, Alan. Hey, Alan. This is Steve. Yes, one of your writers for your incredible creatures Kickstarter. Yes. So the concept, if I get this right, the concept is to your artists created art, and I have to write lore for them, right? Yes. Out of just the art. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. No. There's no slight issue. This is a giant third. No, not to say it is not a third like it's a bad piece of art. Like, they sent me a literal giant third. Yes. I have to create lore for. This is not okay, not a joke. Okay. I create lore for the joke. Okay. Super, no problem. Yes. Okay. Long ago, giant turds ruled the galaxy, but now they roam in dungeons deep. My writing skills are genius. Hi there, fellow Dungeons & Dragons players and Dungeon Masters. I am Mr. Tarosk, still the go-to YouTube channel for everything third-party Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition related. And I am a sucker for monster books, for bestiaries, for monster manuals, for books for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition that have monsters in them. And once again, there is a Kickstarter that I am completely crazy about because they do things a little bit differently. I mean, I have the bestiaries from Kobold Press, all 3 of them. They are amazing. I have all the bestiaries from Nord Games, which are amazing. I have the Legendary Dragons book. I have a bunch of bestiaries, all the official ones from 5th edition in my possession, and I like all of them. And every now and then, when I get bored, this is something I really do, I legit do in my free time, is just sit down with a random bestiary and flip through it and see if there's any creature that I didn't see before that looks interesting to put against my players. And that's just something I do when I am bored. And once again, we are going to be able to do that with the Incredible Creatures Kickstarter. But there's 2 reasons I want to talk about this Kickstarter. First of all, they're doing it completely the other way around. Normally, when a bestiary is created, they have a bunch of lore and a bunch of stuff written up for beasts, and somebody after that creates art for it. Or sometimes it's like they work together for it, the artist and the lore person, writer person, and sometimes they write the lore and then the art comes. But with Incredible Creatures, they actually created the artwork, and they asked a bunch of artists to just create art without any names, without any lore, without any stat blocks, without anything. Just a piece of art of a monster that they would like to or not like to encounter in a fantasy world. And a bunch of crazy good art came out of that. People were just drawing all kinds of crazy stuff, like the weirdest stuff you can come up with. And then they asked a bunch of writers to actually write the lore for those creatures. And I think this is just so interesting. Maybe we as consumers will not immediately notice that this is the way it is done, because for us it will just feel like a very good bestiary. But I just think it's very interesting that they are taking this approach. They are really opening up the artist's imagination. They can do whatever they want, and then the lore people have to write something up for that. And I think that is a very good idea. The second reason I want to talk about this one is because they are actually quite a small Kickstarter. Incredible Creatures is one of those books. It's not from Kobold Press or Nord Games or Jetpack 7 or Wizards of the Coast, who don't do Kickstarters. Anyway, from any other big RPG companies. This is just a Kickstarter from a bunch of people who are building a monster book, and they're just looking for $10,000. And I know I talk a lot about Kickstarters these days. The last year I've done a bunch of Kickstarter videos, and that's just because I'm always really excited by them. But looking for $10,000 for a Kickstarter, it isn't that much of money. But they are a small company, and they just don't have the reach that other companies have. And I just wanted to help them out with putting this video out, putting their stuff on Twitter, in my Discord channel, and just hope that there is a bunch of people like me that still love bestiaries, even though they have a big pile of bestiaries in their possession. They just want another bestiary. Now, I have gotten a demo booklet that was especially designed for creators, YouTubers, social influencers, name it what you want, like me. So I got this very special demo booklet with a lot of monsters in it already. But there's also a demo booklet you can download from the Kickstarter page. Now, if I understand it correctly, the demo booklet on the Kickstarter page is just not that many monsters as that I gotten. So I was flipping through my version of it, and I just want to show you a couple of things. There's actually two creatures that belong together that are really, really cool, and they call them the Wave Monarchs. And there's basically a male version of it and a female version of it. And I have to pick. One of them is called Xilirian, the King of Tides, or is it the Queen of Tides? And the other one is called Xilirium, which is the King of Tides. So the King and Queen of Tides. And these creatures, I'm showing an insert right now in this video. These creatures, I mean, you cannot come up with this kind of stuff. I mean, if you are a writer and you see this kind of stuff, you have to come up with something, and you have to give it a name, you have to give it stats, which is really weird because their bodies aren't really buddies, and they're just a bunch of what looks like jellyfish that are just being jellyfish and just doing stuff together to form one big giant body thing. And you as a writer have to come up with that kind of stuff, with stats, with lore, with how they fight, tactics, whatever. And I just like them very much. I've read through them, and I am going to use them in my game immediately. I mean, I have a party that are traveling over the sea right now, and they're going to meet these King and Queen of Tides, which is of course amazing. I'm going to throw them in Call from the Deep of the adventure by JVC Perry, one of my favorite adventures that I'm running through right now, called Call from the Deep, which I'm going to use these creatures for. This is just an example, just a stupid little example of how somebody created like the weirdest art of the world, and then just somebody created stats and everything for it. And this demo booklet you can download is full of amazing creatures you can already throw into your game and use if you want. And the great thing is it's completely for free. So even if you do not back this Kickstarter, make sure to just click the link in the description below and download the demo booklet. If you then like the monsters very much and like the artwork, because also the artwork is amazing, the style of the artwork is really cool, and if you like the artwork and the writing and the stuff, the weird stuff that is in there, you can still choose to back it for a couple of bucks or whatever to get the hard copy, the soft cover, the PDF, or whatever you can get from the Kickstarter. Now, I also like the idea very much that they're doing this Kickstarter through drive-thru RPG. So there is going to be a print-on-demand option. And the cool thing is, if you back this Kickstarter for enough money, if your pledge level is high enough, you actually don't get the physical book directly in your hands. You just get a print coupon to use on drive-thru RPG. So they leave out a lot of the middle people that have to take care of a lot of stuff. It is just thrown on drive-thru RPG. You get your coupon from the Kickstarter, and you can just type it in, type the coupon in, you get it for free, delivered to your doorstep. You only probably have to pay like some part of like the shipping cost, depending on where you are in the world. But that is then your problem. They have created, I mean, you have backed them, they've created the book, and you are getting the book from this coupon. There's of course also a PDF option, and very cool, there's an option to get like these big ass printouts to put like it on your wall or whatever of some of the greatest art in incredible creatures. And that is basically it. I just want to sit down with incredible creatures, and I hope you also just want to sit down with incredible creatures with a cup of coffee, maybe your reading glasses if you need reading glasses, and then just flip through it and get a bunch of creatures that are created by artists in the first place and writers in the second place, which is a completely different way of thinking about it. Other than that, until next time, I hope your inspiration may guide you.